about why is it important to accept our own feelings, accept where we're at in this present moment, in order to actually move on from perhaps a negative situation or feeling really negative about ourselves and even perhaps being depressed. I remember when I was feeling quite depressed in my life a while back, a few years back, and I had this conviction that I needed to keep, focusing on what was wrong, because if I didn't do that, then that would be equivalent to basically just giving up and never really doing anything better. But the result of the attitude was that I wasted so much energy feeling bad about my situation that I actually became more stuck and couldn't move on. So I really had to come around to the idea that actually I needed to accept where I was and accept my feelings for what they were, and also start appreciating what was happening around me in the present moment, even though at the time I couldn't really see anything positive about it. The key was to accept where I was and seeing that as a positive stepping stone. When we are focused so much on what we don't want, we just keep on getting more of that which we don't want. Our minds are like a ship, and there's a captain of the ship, and there's the little minions, the little slaves, the crew that goes around and does the captain's bidding. When a ship is working well is when the captain's in charge, the crew is disciplined, the captain communicates their wishes to the crew, the captain sets a destination, and then there we go. But if instead of doing this, we kind of give up control, the crew will continue to do what it has always done, according to the conditioning, the programs in our minds that we have acquired throughout our lives. So we keep on going where we don't want to go. But think about it this way. If you wanted to go from, Edinburgh to Glasgow, would you focus on all the roads that don't go to Glasgow? You probably wouldn't end up in Glasgow. You would have to focus on the final destination. You don't need to know exactly how you're getting there, but what's important is that you're setting that destination. If you are focused on what's not working, you will get more of that. But if you try and avoid it, it's just as bad, because what you resist persists. You want to try and accept whatever it is that you are feeling and your situation, because as you do that, you release a lot of the emotional energy that beforehand was used in feeling bad. When you have more energy, you then can begin to explore what is around you. So there is a little positive thing, even in the most negative situation, that you can focus on. Once you do that, you then allow for more opportunities to come into your life because you're more open to them. Reality is not as we think it is, but reality is as we perceive it to be. And there's this dream I had that really seems to exemplify it for me. So in the dream, I was living in a living room. It was quite cozy, but it was quite dark. And I was very used to it. I'd been staying in this living room for a long, long time. But then, one day, I just decided to have a look at the curtains. She peeled them off one by one. As I do that, they reveal some light. And when I get to the fourth curtain, I realize that actually there's sunshine coming in through the windows. And the room is completely changed. And at first, this makes me feel a little bit like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm not used to this. I kind of like that darkened living room. And then I say to myself, well, wait a minute, this is kind of nice. I think I could get used to this, And so what this dream told me was, it's basically a metaphor for how we perceive reality. We get used to a way that we see things, and we think that's the way. That's just the way, that's how it always was, that's how it always will be. But the truth is, perhaps there's some mental filters that you're not aware of that make you look at everything in always the same way, you keep on getting the same results. So the idea is that you do something different, and looking at the idea of not accepting your feelings, well, you know where that gets you. So how about, what would it be like to actually start by being a little bit more compassionate towards yourself, practicing attachment, practicing this sense of being an observer. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a video just before this one that you can have a look at that talks about detachment with an exercise that you can do. As you practice it and you become more able to kind of realize that you are focusing on what you don't want, you are focusing on avoiding your feelings, the invitation is to say, well, okay, how about I take responsibility for my life, because no one's gonna save me. When you go to sleep at night, write down in a journal 5 things that you're grateful for today. Okay, maybe you don't have 5, 3. At least 3 I'm sure that you can find every day. And this will help you to come out of that kind of tunnel vision where everything is bleak and you live in this darkened living room, and kind of actually open up a little bit and see what is out there. Just try it out, see how it feels. And if you've got any questions or comments, please do write down your comment and subscribe to my channel. Every week there'll be a new video. Well, that's all for me today. Thank you, and see you next week.